Alright, what is going on, guys? Trangeezy Designs here with a brand new video. This is round 13 of 16 in the F1 2020 My Team career mode that we are in currently. This is the points as they stand heading into round 13 here in the United States Grand Prix, which is held in Austin, Texas. That is Charles Leclerc, 246 points, and me with 239. That is 7 points. All I have to do is win and him place second, and I get the championship lead back after this Grand Prix. But we can't bank on that because anything can and will happen. This is Formula One. This is racing. Anything happens in racing, and you cannot bank on the fact that you have the most dominant car. So, with that being said, here is the scoop. If we continue what we are doing currently with alternating wins and seconds with our teammate, if we win USA and Mexico, we have a cushion going into Brazil for the last two rounds, Brazil and the United Arab Emirates, which is Abu Dhabi, the final race of the season. Now, if we alternate and he wins here in USA and I win in Mexico and he wins in Brazil, we go down to the wire in Abu Dhabi. So this is where it gets interesting. And if I have two in Mexico and Brazil and he wins right now in the United States, it still comes down to the final round where we don't know how many points could be in between us at that point, but it is going to come down to the wire. It is going to get good. So you guys will definitely want to be checking out these videos as they come and as they go. So right now in the top right there will be a card telling you guys round 12. Go and click that if you have not already watched it. If you already have, you guys know what happened, and you guys know that this is going to get frosty. So you guys will definitely be enjoying this, but without further ado, we are going to get right into it with qualifying one. We will see you guys there. Peace. Alright, really quickly, this is right before practice one. I am going to do the practice session just to make sure that I have a good setup and see what the pace is going to be like for qualifying. But look in that bottom right hand corner. That is going to be rain at the end of the race. For how many laps? Who knows? That could possibly be 2 laps. That could be the last lap that it begins raining. We don't know until we actually get on the track for the race and get to that point in the race. But that is something to watch out for. That could very well shake up the entire result of this race. So that is going to be something to watch out for heading into the United States Grand Prix. But on to qualifying one. Here we go. So here we go. We are here at the United States Grand Prix for qualifying one. And as I just said, there is rain possibly coming at the end of the race. So we will just need to be prepared for that. Really work to build a gap before the end of the race. But here we go. On to the flying lap. This track isn't one of my strongest either. Haven't really played it much, so practice session and then qualifying, that is my practice for the race, my braking points and everything. But you can see we hit turn one basically perfect, right on the dot, first go around. So here we go through the United States S corners. You can really keep a lot of speed if you get these right, but we get a little sloppy through there. Hit all the apexes, but we could carry more speed going through there. I know for a fact we could, because nearing the end of qualifying 2, I want to say, we picked up our pace through there and we really tested the waters with how this car feels. But down the main back straight here in sector 2, heading right at that speed trap, I think speeds upwards of 214 miles per hour into this massive braking zone. You will guarantee see passing opportunities down into that hairpin corner. Multiple double apexes coming through here, extremely hard Bahrain type corner right there. Very, very easy to lock that front left tire going into that double left-hand corner. But there is Leclerc setting fastest lap at a 129.4. What are we going to come across the line with as we come around? We are going to be way off pace, and we are at a 130.4. That is a full second off of our teammate. That is not what we wanted to see here in qualifying 1. We wanted to be ahead of him in qualifying, but we are near a second off of our teammate. Right there you can see Lewis Hamilton is only 0.4, so I'm willing to bet Hamilton and Leclerc will be very, very difficult to beat here in the United States. But following Hamilton and Leclerc, there is Bottas in the other Mercedes car. Then there is Carlos Sainz in the McLaren. Myself in 5th. Daniel Ricciardo in that Ferrari holding down 6th. Alexander Albon, Vettel, Verstappen, Kvyat, Perez, Gasly, Stroll, Norris. Very strong showing for both of the Ferraris in 6th and 8th. And then as well as the 2 Red Bulls in 7th and 9th. So fairly good for those 2 teams. But Giovinazzi and Ocon, those are the top 16 heading into qualifying 2. And then you have Magnussen, Zhao, I'm guessing, yep, De Vries, Aitken, and Latifi are down following up the grid. They will be starting from 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd for the race. So, sadly, they will not be moving up anywhere close to the front. But on to qualifying 2. Here we go through the triple apex corner as we almost get really, really flirtatious with those track limits on that left-hand corner. But here we go. Final 5 minutes. We already put down 1 lap to try and see what our pace would be, and it was a 130.9. So we did, I think we improved on our qualifying 1 time. I'm not sure. I think actually qualifying 1 was better, but here we go through the S's. Once again, you can see now we carry a little bit more speed through there. 7th gear instead of going down to 6th. Really can flick the car into that left-hander. I misjudged my turn-in point just a little bit on it, so I did go a little bit farther inside of where I wanted to be for the following corner. But here we go. Left-hand corner and down the main back straight we go. We have 0.5 tenths up on our best time, but is closing fast. We did not get the best exit out of that corner down the main straight. So here we go. Hard braking into this hairpin. Do not lock up. You do not want to lock up going into that corner. We get a small snap of oversteer. Another misjudge of where we need to turn in. And look at that. That cost us a lot of time heading through that section. We are actually now just about to be in the red of qualifying better than our previous time. Through the triple apex right-hand corner into this fast left-hand corner. Flick it down into 5th and flick the car in. And you can hit that apex absolutely perfect. Small lockup into the final corner. DRS and lose the rear end for good measure. And that is us not qualifying better. And Valtteri Bottas pulls out pole. First position in qualifying 2. Followed by Sergio Perez in that Renault. Renault has not been very strong, but they are looking strong with Perez here in the United States. And then Leclerc follows up in 3rd, Hamilton in 4th, and myself in 5th. So as you can see, Hamilton could just well be a spoiler coming into this race. He is very, very close to our teammate and could possibly pick up the pace and win this race if things go the way they are going right now. But we have to qualify at least pole or 2nd in order for our best chance of winning this Grand Prix, because we know that United States is very difficult to pass on. Everyone takes the exact same line and it is very fast, so it's very hard to make passes on other than that first corner. But Vettel, Gasly, Verstappen, Norris, and Stroll, that is the top 10 going into qualifying 3 alongside me and Leclerc. Then Sainz, Ocon, Ricciardo, Albon, Kvyat, and Giovinazzi are out. for this session. They will not be joining us in qualifying 3, but the top 10 shootout is ours, and we will be going into the top 10. So here we go. Now, what is this? The clouds have rolled in, and the skies are opening up in qualifying. So this is as much grip as we are going to have, as the intermediate tires are actually slower than the soft compound tires are currently, and let me tell you, the traction was atrocious with these tires. It was very, very hard to actually keep the car where you wanted it to go, but you can see we are trying to ignore that as much as possible and push through to get the best time possible. You can see our teammate in that little left-hand corner just went through the speed trap, so he is out there as well in these conditions. So wherever we put our lap here, that could very well be our starting position, so we are hoping to have enough for P2, maybe P3, but Perez with a 134 goes fastest overall so far. So where is our teammate going to finish? We will be watching very, very closely in that top center of the screen as he comes around to the finish line. He is one corner away. What will his time be as he crosses the line? As we get a massive oversteer, we catch it. But what is Leclerc going to be? Leclerc does not go fastest. He goes a 134.9 to Perez's 134.6, I think. So Leclerc is off pace, and the traction and the conditions are just getting worse and worse as we come into the final corner. What is this going to be? We are dropping down the board right now as it goes, and there is just no grip in the final corner for us. We are a second and 4/10 off. Right there, you can see I wanted to see what the track would form up to be, and we are 6th place while Leclerc is in 2nd. And we know in the dry, our car is that much faster than the Renault. So, with that being said, Leclerc could very well get a good start off of 2nd position on the grid, get by Perez, and disappear while we are stuck in 6th, battling with Pierre Gasly, Lando Norris, and Hamilton, as well as Perez. So we are going to be looking for a really, really good start from 6th position on this grid right now. But the rundown, Perez in pole, Leclerc in 2nd on the front row. Once again, Hamilton and Norris on the 2nd, myself and Gasly on the 3rd, Vettel, Bottas, Verstappen, and Stroll. That is the top 10 of the grid. But, like I said, we did not want to be any farther down than 2nd. If Leclerc got pole, this is even worse. He is in 2nd. We're back in 6th. So he could very easily leave us for dead and just gap us in the points race. But we can't think about it like that. We got to think about having that perfect start right off the gate. But it is going to be tough. It is going to be extremely tough. These guys are very, very good off the line. And we are going to see how this race shapes up. This should be a good race. With how this season has gone, recently, that is. Recently, at the beginning it started off slow, but recently it has really picked up. So, it is going to shake up to be a really good 14-lap race. There is the weather once again. We are really hoping for that rain to hold off. We do not want that rain in that ending of this race, as we saw how catastrophic that was here in qualifying 3. But this is very pivotal for us. We have to win here if we want a chance at this championship sooner than the final round, as if we place 2nd and he places 1st, he still gains just that little bit of ground that he needs to keep himself in front. We need him to have a horrible start, us have a good start, get ahead of him on the start, basically,
Here we are then in one of the
and go from there. We need him to get hung up behind someone. We need him to get hung up, and we need him to not have a good tire strategy. I believe he's going to be on that medium to soft strategy, which is the winning tire strategy, giving him that opportunity to win this very easily. But here we go. This is the beginning of the race. So let's get to it here in the United States for round 13 of this season.
With me today, of course, is Anthony Davidson. They must be starting to feel the pressure at this point, Ant. Surely. There's a real shot at the time on the cards here, but one error at the wrong time, well, that could throw it all away.
True enough, but that pressure goes both ways. A failure or a mistake at this point could spell the end of their championship hopes, but they know their rivals are in exactly the same situation. Let's just hope the title is decided in the purest of ways.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. It's Sergio Perez on pole position today, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Norris, Pierre Gasly, Iceman, Vettel, Bottas, Verstappen and Lance Stroll, Sainz, Ocon, Daniel Ricciardo and Albon, Kvyat, Giovinazzi, George Russell and Kevin Magnussen, Joe, De Vries, Aitken and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
Alright, there was the rundown, and as you heard right at the beginning of that little broadcast area, he was talking about me and Leclerc's points battle. This is a very high pressure situation regarding this points battle, so we need to make sure we get that good start. We need to make sure we do everything perfect. We're gonna go for the 5 laps on the soft to try and sprint this. We're gonna try and go a little bit longer on these to give more opportunity for those mediums at the end of the race to work better. But here we go, 5 lates in the USGP, and we are off. Here we go for the start of the Grand Prix. A lot of wheel spin off of the line for a couple of people. I almost actually got a really bad start and did not pass Gasly heading into this first corner, but here we go. Tire to tire, I think that there was a little bit of contact between Hamilton and Leclerc, but we had Vettel up our inside. We stayed around the outside of him and kept our foot in the gas, but you can see we have a lot more grip than we're used to, so I ended up actually going very inside of the track limits multiple different times through those S corners, and we're going to settle in right behind our teammate who got a horrible start here in the race. So he went from 2nd down to 4th, and now I've met him right here on the back straight. Are we going to be able to get the speed for this back straight? But right there in the bottom was Giovinazzi going for a pass on Magnussen heading into this long straight. You can see we are falling back just a little bit. We are trying to conserve just a little bit, but here's another battle, the other racing point of Lance Stroll going after the Red Bull of Max Verstappen. So that's a good battle. As you just saw right there, he did get by him for that position. So both of the racing points are making moves here early in this race. Where will they finish? That is the question. But here we go. Can we get a good run on our teammate into the first corner? That's what we want. We want to pass him as soon as possible. We do not want to wait a long time to pass Leclerc. We don't want to wait too many laps in order to pass him. We want to get by him, and then we want to go by Hamilton as we almost go right in the back of him. So we had to take avoiding action. That makes us lose even more time to our teammate and the pack ahead. So there is damage, heavy damage to the front wing of Nicholas Latifi, as you can see him pitting right there for a brand new front wing very early in the race. So sad to see his race end so early, but here we go. Into the corner before the long straight. What is it going to be? He goes a little defensive, but we are the king of late braking into this corner. We don't lock up all that bad. We get the pass made. He has a very slow exit, and there is Vettel trying to go up the inside, but needs to fall back in to get some slipstream heading into this corner. So we are going to keep an eye on that battle. I don't think that he goes for the dive bomb heading into this corner. It does not look like he did based on the mirrors and stuff. So where is Vettel going to make that pass? Because those mediums are slower, and there is the pass up in the top left. Vettel is now in 5th. Leclerc is behind us by 2 positions. That should be enough to just give us that points lead. I might need to get Hamilton and maybe Norris in order to get that points lead from where we are right now on the track. But I would have to do the math. But Perez is just setting fastest laps as we take that fastest lap away from him at a 134.0. So the track really needs to get rubbered in and in order to start doing faster laps. But here we go. So now the situation is we need to keep our head down, go after Hamilton, go after Norris, and then chase Perez down as we almost lose all grip on our tires. We leaned on him a little too much going through that left hand in the S corners, so we need to remember that these tires are starting to fade from us. But this is where we need to go. We need to go right now. We need to make the pass with DRS on Hamilton and Norris down this main straight. Are we going to be close enough, and are we going to get enough boost from the DRS to make it? We can go longer on these tires. So here we go. Hamilton down the inside, us around the outside. Can we get into the corner before these guys? When you have a massive lockup, go off the track. I give the space for Norris and Hamilton, and we go just a little bit off the track on the inside. There might be contact between us and Norris. Hamilton is still alongside. Can we get him into the double left-hander? He's still right there, right there, right there. Here we go. Into the 3 right-handers of this long sweeping right, and we now have second. So that is a 2-for-1 pass that we really needed. We really needed those 3 guys in between me and my teammate, and with that we should have the points lead. But our job doesn't stop there. We have Perez ahead of us by 2.5 seconds. Can we get up to him? We really need to put our head down. You can see we are going extremely defensive because I thought Hamilton would go for a move, but he switches us up. He goes around my outside into the right-hander. We're going to keep it going around the outside, though. We don't lift off the throttle, and we stay right around the outside into the throttle and just go right back around Hamilton as we really understeer off of that corner. So these tires are starting to fade just a little bit, and I'm trying to push them too hard. But that little battle right there makes us lose half a second to Perez in front of us in that Renault, as he is trying to just take off and build a gap from us back here. So we're going to skip a little bit ahead. Perez, now we have closed in around a second onto him, and you can see the tires are fading. That is a red 2 sectors of Sector 1 and Sector 2. And here we go. Now we are only 1.5 seconds. So we are closing the gap as we set fastest lap, and Hamilton takes it right back from us. So me and Hamilton are pushing one another as we go into the pit window, and Perez is pitting here on lap 6. Hamilton stays out. Hamilton stays out with us, as well as Leclerc is in the pits. Leclerc is pitting for the soft tires right now. Halfway through the race, he shouldn't have pit with those medium tires. He should not have pit until lap 9, lap 10, and had the last 4 laps on the softs. But he pulls a horrible strategy, and could that very easily give us the win over our teammate, because he decides to go for a completely different strategy than what I anticipated. That could very well just shifted everything regarding this race. But here we go. Hamilton still right around a second behind us, so he won't have DRS, but that Mercedes is extremely quick in a straight line. But we are just that little bit faster as we are gaining time down that straight. He went from 1.0 to 1.3 for a brief second, and then we lost time in that braking zone. So he is better in that braking zone than us. We need to remember that, so that way he doesn't send a dive bomb if he gets closer. As we lock up the front left, we are going to pit this lap to make sure that we can stay ahead of Leclerc. But I fear because of his fresh rubber, and I don't know how much traffic he is in, he might jump us if we don't have a good pit stop. So here we go, down into the pits. Hamilton pits just behind us. Gasly should be pitting. I would assume so because all of us are on the same compound. And yes, Gasly, Verstappen, Stroll, and I'm sure another multiple different cars have pitted. So here we go. Can we get out of the pits quick? That is a 2-second stop right on the dot. Where is Hamilton behind us? He should be fairly close as we come out of the pits, but there is the gap. You can see just in the top of that little box, that was us going up the hill out of the pit lane. So we still have quite the gap to our teammate as he is stuck right now behind Lando Norris in that orange McLaren. So can we build that gap out and still have plenty of tire to get away from him? Those softs are probably extremely quick compared to these mediums currently, as he has temp into them. We do not have temperature into these tires yet, but here we go. End of lap 8, we have caught up to the tail end of the top 5. As you can see, they are all pitting. That is Magnussen, Giovinazzi, Albon. I want to say, who else is up there? Albon, Russell, and Kvyat. All of them ended up staying out very long on those soft compound tires. And Leclerc is coming. He just set the fastest time, and he is just catching Hamilton and Perez. You can see that gap in the top left is shrinking by around a second a lap. There's right around 2 seconds in between the two. There is Perez and Hamilton. There is Leclerc. You can see that gap now. And Leclerc goes fastest again. He is just shrinking that gap and really trying to get by these guys, or catch them and then get by them. I don't know if he will have enough to get by us or even catch us within 5 laps, but you never know. We might make a mistake. But here we go. Look at the gap now. They are all over one another. So this is the battle to watch, and that is why I'm going to keep this up the entire time from here on out, is because this is the pivotal point of this race. Can Perez and Hamilton keep Leclerc behind them, or is Leclerc waiting? If Leclerc is waiting for the right minute, he is going to pass these guys perfectly and be able to gain so many more points on us than lose points. We want him to lose more points than gain, so we want him down in 4th. Maybe have something happen to him. Maybe he gets up into 3rd or whatever. But here we go. He is closing in on Hamilton very quick down that start straight. Is he going to have a move? I don't know what happened to the replay, but I don't think he went for it because he's still in 4th. This is now lap 13. It is very, very close to the end of the race. But there is the gap still. They are all over one another. Here we go. Now Leclerc is even closer. Is he going to look for that inside? Hamilton goes a little bit defensive. Leclerc doesn't even attempt a pass there. He knows that he will have that DRS advantage on that long straight where that pass might end up coming. But he is well within the range of striking Hamilton right now, because look at how close they are. They are only almost 0.1 of a second off of one another right now. So it is very, very close between these three as we speak, and this is probably where Leclerc is going to be getting that DRS jump on these guys, and we are going to watch and see. There you go. There is the DRS open up. It's very cool angle to see that little winglet open with that DRS system, but no, Hamilton ends up staying ahead of Leclerc and doesn't even allow him to get up the inside. So that Mercedes is faster than our car in that straight line while it's behind someone with DRS. So this is where it's going to get interesting. Can Leclerc get by these two? If Leclerc can't get by these two, we should have the points lead heading out of round 13 into round 14. But here we go, last corner. Where is Leclerc going to make the pass? I know he has more tires than what he is showing right now, but there is damage to his front wing. There is damage to his front wing. You can see the end plate is damaged. I wonder if that is affecting him more than what we are seeing. It shouldn't affect him all that much, but I wonder if it is. I wonder if that is why he cannot get by these guys. That just shakes everything up. If that is affecting him to a certain point, he cannot get by these two by the end of the lap because it is affecting him too much for him to make that pass and have it stick. So, I mean, here we go. He is really close right now heading into this DRS straight. Is he going to be able to get by? Let's find out. I mean, DRS activation point. There it is. They all have DRS going down on Perez right now. Hamilton goes extremely defensive. I have a feeling that he did not let Leclerc get around him. That he did not. He stayed far inside. But here we go. We come around this huge right-hand sweeper, and we watch on as that battle still ensues behind us. But here we come. Last corner. We have crossed the line for a win. Where is Leclerc going to finish? This is the final two corners. If he needs to make a pass, he needs to make it now. He's not close enough for the final corner. Perez and Hamilton are going to hold him off and give us the points lead heading out of round 13. Perez and Hamilton held off Leclerc, who had the fastest tire on the track right now. They held him off for him to finish fourth while we won. You do the math. That is a massive, massive points swing in our favor. That is what we needed. We needed something big for this championship, and that just came here at the United States Grand Prix. That opportunity for us to grab the points lead heading out of round 13, that opportunity just came to light with Perez and Hamilton being absolute legends and holding off the fastest car on the fastest tire. So Perez won. Amazing driving to bring that Renault all the way up to pole position and still finish second. Great driving from him. But we should now have the points lead. By how much is the question? But still, we should have the points lead. There it is. We do have the points lead in the championship. Once again, we have fought for it all season, and we have it again. The question is that going to burden us at Mexico in round 14? The points lead is very heavy, is what we call it. Once you have it, you are now the chased. Being chased by the whole pack, so a lot of pressure gets put on you. We cannot break to that pressure from behind in the championship by our own teammate Charles Leclerc. If we go into round 14, we have to stay strong and stay ahead of him. But the rundown for this Grand Prix is myself with a well-driven win from 6 on the grid, and then Sergio Perez in the Renault, dragging that Renault up the ladder. Lewis Hamilton in the other Mercedes. And then our teammate Charles Leclerc in 4th from 2nd on the grid. So he did not get a good start and ended up finishing 4th. Lando Norris in the McLaren is in 5th. Pierre Gasly and Max Verstappen, the 2 Red Bull teammates, our sister teammates, in 6th and 7th. Sebastian Vettel, Bottas, and Stroll are all of your points finishers. And then it goes Ocon, Kvyat, Sainz, Ricciardo, Albon, Russell, Giovinazzi, Magnussen, Aitken, De Vries, Latifi, and Zhao, who did not finish, had a mechanical failure. And then Latifi had that front wing damage that put him out of the race. But that is it for me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. That was a very, very important race, as we now lead the championship by 5 points. It is still very, very tight between me and Charles Leclerc. But we cannot get complacent and we cannot expect that we will win from here on out. As we just saw, anything can and will happen as he got hung up behind Perez and Hamilton, both of which were on slower compound tires than him. So that is surprising because he was on the faster compound tire, 4/10 faster than me, and I set the fastest lap on medium tires. So that tells you the speed difference between those tires. I have a feeling tire wear got to him and he didn't have the tires in order to pass those two by the end of the race, but it helps us out. It has now turned the tide of the championship towards us. So we will go into round 14 in Mexico with the momentum and with the points lead. We have now become the chased. We were the chaser. Now we are the chased. So, this is where we cannot make mistakes. Pressure will build, pressure might crack, but we cannot end up breaking what we have right now, which is our momentum. If we break our momentum and he starts winning from here on out, that is championship over. It will take him to win Mexico and me in second for him to regain the championship points lead. That is how close this is, guys. This is the most pivotal point in the championship, is these last 3 rounds. We have to win if we want to keep this, or we have to do as much damage control as possible. If we do not win and he wins, we have to do as much damage control as possible in order to have a shot at the last round of the year in Abu Dhabi. But we cannot look too far into the future. We have to look at what's right in front of us, which is Mexico, a very fast-paced circuit. And as we just saw, Leclerc is very, very quick at fast-paced circuits. So, it should be a good one. Be sure to check it out when it drops. Should be by the end of the week. But this video will be dropping. If you're watching this, it should be this upcoming Thursday. That is going to be my aim. If it drops Wednesday, hey guys, we're early. But we are trying to get through this as quickly as possible because Season 3 is going to be a very, very short one. It will only be 10 rounds. And it is going to get interesting very quickly. So, that is going to be the final season because F1 2021 comes out in the middle of July. So that will be our final season here on F1 2020. So I hope you guys enjoy this one. That is my code on the right hand side. As always, Swift has given me the opportunity to bring you guys a discount for all products and gear, which has been specifically designed for gaming and gamers. This is the best stuff that you can wear, that you can take for the best focus, the best reaction times, and the most energy that does not have a crash at the end of it. This is what gets me through some of these races, and it really, really helps. So definitely go and check it out. Use TDesigns15 for 15% off at checkout. And as always, guys, subscribe and check out Trangizi Designs, my Instagram page. That is where I post everything regarding this channel. So please do go and check that out. Please follow as well if you want to see when I am posting or going live, whenever that may be. But the goal is 250 in 29 days. That should be right around the middle of July. Can we get 250 of you guys subscribed to the channel before F1 2021 comes out? That is the goal, and I hope you guys help me out with that. Please, if you enjoyed this, hit that like button and subscribe as always if you are not already. Take it easy, guys. If it's easy, take it twice. We will talk to you guys in the next one. And always, stay classy. Peace.